We're good? I'd like to welcome everyone to the March 20th, 2017 meeting of the Delaware County Board of Commissioners. Could everybody please join me in the pledge?
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, thank you. I'm Jeff Benton, President of the Board. To my right is fellow Commissioner Barb Lewis. Gary Merrill is absent today. To Barb's right is Farzan Ahmed, our County Administrator, and Jen Walraven is our Clerk today. So I'll let you get things going.
Resolution number 17-271 in the matter of approving the electronic record of proceedings from regular meeting held March 16th, 2017.
So moved.
Second, discussion, vote.
Vote on motion 17-271. Mrs. Lewis?
Aye.
Mr. Benton?
Aye.
We do not have any public comment or elected official comment today, so that brings us to item number 4, resolution number 17-272, in the matter of approving purchase orders and now certificates and payments of warrants in batch number CM APR 0317.
So moved.
Second, discussion, vote.
Vote on motion 17-271. Mrs. Lewis?
Aye.
Mr. Benton?
Aye.
Resolution number 17-272, in the matter of approving travel expense requests.
So moved.
Second, discussion, vote.
Vote on motion 17-272. Mr. Benton?
Aye.
Mrs. Lewis?
Aye.
Resolution number 17-273, in the matter of accepting the Treasurer's report for the month of February 2017.
So moved.
Second, discussion. Just quickly wanted to reiterate that our yield on the portfolio is up to 112 from about 78 basis points a year ago. So that's about $800,000 in additional interest earnings in a year just from the rising rates. So it's good news. We'll go ahead and take a vote.
I'm going to correct the number on that. That's resolution number 17274. And Mr. Benton?
Aye.
Mrs. Lewis?
Aye.
Resolution number 17-275, in the matter of approving the owner's agreement for the corners at Johnny Cakes.
So moved.
Second, discussion.
Good afternoon, Commissioners.
I did. Thank you.
I'm Rob Riley, Chief Deputy Engineer. This is a new single-family residential subdivision at the corner of Cheshire Road and 3Bs and K in Berlin Township, commonly called Johnny Cake Corners, which was where this subdivision gets its name. Again, this includes 23 single-family lots. This agreement covers the street and stormwater improvements for that subdivision. The developer has filed a bond to cover the work on 3Bs and K Road for the entrance to the subdivision, and we are recommending approval.
Which corner is that, Rob?
I believe it's the southwest corner.
Southwest corner. Okay.
That is correct. That's where the sign is.
Okay.
I'll never forget when I first saw Johnny Cakes.
That is kind of an unusual name.
Yeah.
And the developer?
Westport Homes.
Westport. Okay. Yeah, I thought I saw that. There it is. Okay. Further discussion? Okay. Vote.
Vote on motion 17-275. Mrs. Lewis?
Aye.
Mr. Benton?
Aye.
Resolution number 17-276, in the matter of approving a drainage maintenance petition for Sunset Cove Estates Reserve A, Division Number 1.
So moved.
Second, discussion.
This is the re-subdivision of a small subdivision on Riverside Drive, just north of the Columbus Zoo. One of the lots is being re-subdivided for additional homes. And so this action would place the stormwater drainage system on those lots on the county maintenance program standards. So we recommend approval of this petition.
All right, vote.
Vote on motion 17-276. Mr. Benton?
Aye.
Mrs. Lewis?
Aye.
Resolution number 17-277, in the matter of declaring the necessity of improvements for the project known as 2017 Dell Road Improvements Program resurfacing of various county roads, township roads, approving plans, specifications, estimates, and setting the bid date.
So moved.
Second, discussion.
This is our annual resurfacing program, countywide, includes, I believe, 14 townships this year. This is actually our largest overall program we've ever had. The total estimated cost of the work, including all of the county and township roads, is about $8.4 million. And so the township portion of that, which is basically what you're acting on, is just over $3.2 million is the estimated cost for the county roads, covering about 39 miles of county roads, and then an additional 62 miles of township roads. It's just over 100 miles in total. So really a terrific program this year, and should go a long way to address the condition of pavements on some of the township roads as well as the county roads. So this action would allow us to go out to bid over the next few weeks and hopefully receive some good bids.
When would it start?
Go ahead.
We'll start in May, really pending weather. That's the biggest factor in the spring, but it will go from May through September.
Okay. Okay.
And the program really is very beneficial to the townships, so being able to get the, what you love to talk about, you know, all the scope
The scope.
of the project.
Oh, yeah.
And getting a better price when you've got more people.
Yeah, buying power, leverage, whatever you want to call it.
Leveraging that.
Absolutely. This is one of the largest resurfacing programs in the state at the county level that I'm aware of. It's really, I think, bigger than anything else in central Ohio in terms of a county-initiated program. So we're proud of the relationship we have with the townships. We work very hard to stay in communication throughout the project, and really it's a year-round cycle, you know, starting basically, well, when the project ends, we're right on to the next year, planning the following year. So it's kind of a year-round cycle, and we're now at the point where we're going to see what the numbers are.
So you do have all the projects identified,
We do?
ready to go, assuming the bids are in line.
Yes.
Is there a list that the residents could see of these roads and the timing and so on?
Certainly. We will actually have some information on our county engineer's office website. As part of the contract, we require that the contractor provide a 2-week schedule of his upcoming work, and that's updated every week. So a 2-week forecast updated every week throughout the construction period. And so we provide that schedule on our website and distribute that to the township so they can refer their residents to that as well.
I know we always had that information when we were trustees, so when I was a trustee, listing all the projects.
Yeah, and that probably is the number one question we all get, you know, just what's going on with the roads.
Absolutely.
So how does this compare to 2016? You said this is the largest.
This is a bigger program overall. I think over the last several years, we've been averaging about a $6 to $7 million total program. Again, this is about $8.4 million total. This is at the county portion is a little bit smaller than last year by about $500,000. But we think we're at a level where we can sustain about a $2.5 to $3 million annual program. We've essentially made enough progress with resurfacing our roads that we can sustain at the current level with that amount.
How many miles of roads does the county have, and how many do the townships have?
Yeah, overall, the county maintains just over 330 miles, centerline miles of roadway, and so we're resurfacing about 11% of that this year. Townships, I should have that figure on the top of my head. It's over 500 miles, but I don't have the exact figure.
So each one is roughly every 10 to maybe 8 to 10 years to be resurfaced is kind of the plan, the goal?
Yeah, and we have a life cycle estimate, basically depending on the treatment that you're doing. And one thing to keep in mind, that 39 miles is all different types of treatment. Some may be preventative maintenance that have a shorter lifespan. Some may be a full asphalt resurfacing that have a longer lifespan. So in general, an asphalt surface course may have a lifespan of 10 to 12 years on average, but it may require some preventive maintenance in that first 12 years. So.
Okay. Other questions?
No, thank you.
Okay. It looks very promising, and sounds like we're going to make a lot of good progress this year. We'll take a vote.
Vote on motion 17-277. Mrs. Lewis?
Aye.
Mr. Benton?
Aye.
Resolution number 17-278, in the matter of approving a right-of-way work permit summary sheet.
So moved.
Second, discussion.
We received 5 permit applications this round, and my staff has reviewed all the proposed work, and we recommend approval.
Okay, vote.
Vote on motion 17-278. Mrs. Lewis?
Aye.
Mr. Benton?
Aye.
Resolution number 17-279, in the matter of approving a contract of sale and purchase between Fredon Commons Ltd. and the Board of Delaware County Commissioners for Dell CR 24-0.07.
So moved.
Second, discussion.
We have negotiated a settlement to purchase some right-of-way at the northwest corner of Freeman Road and Old 3C Highway for our Old 3C Highway improvements, and we are recommending approval.
Okay, vote.
Vote on motion 17-279. Mr. Benton?
Aye.
Mrs. Lewis?
Aye.
Resolution number 17-280, in the matter of approving a construction administration agreement between the City of Columbus and Delaware County, Ohio for South Old State and Polaris Parkway.
So moved.
Second, discussion.
This is an agreement to handle the construction administration and inspection of the South Old State road improvements that I know you're aware of, running from Polaris Parkway to Orange Road. Essentially what this agreement does is appoints Columbus as the construction engineer and inspector. Columbus has a sizable construction division with a number of employees that really they're pretty well prepared to handle a project of this magnitude. It's, again, about a $15 million construction project. Frankly, it's just beyond the capacity of what we can handle with our own in-house staff. So if not for this agreement, we would actually have to go out and hire a consulting engineer to administer the construction phase. And so the convenient part of having Columbus administer the project themselves is they are already part of the project. They own just under 20% of the project in terms of quantity and costs. So basically the way this will work, the estimated $1.3 million cost of this agreement will be reimbursed. 80% will be reimbursed by ODOT. The remaining 20% will be split on an 82% share. So, and that takes into account the length of the project that's in Columbus versus outside Columbus.
Okay. I've noticed they've done a lot of work already, cutting down trees and utility work and so on. Have we been supervising that to date?
We have, and all of that work has actually been utility work, so it hasn't been through contract. We're getting very close to, we actually had the pre-construction meeting with Kenmore Construction last week. They haven't actually done any physical work on the site yet, so all the work up to date we've been keeping an eye on and inspecting with our own staff, but we'll actually start seeing Kenmore mobilize here very shortly and start pushing dirt and doing storm sewers and so forth.
Okay. Yeah, it's going to be a big project and very much appreciated by those of us who drive down Old State. Other comments? I noticed also in the agreement there's a Phase B, which is Lozelle Road and Old State, which has to be, if not the worst intersection in this county. It's got to be in the top 3.
Yes.
But that's not part of this project, and that would be Columbus's responsibility?
It is. Columbus is actually developing a project right now, and that's 100% Columbus responsibility. We were, frankly, pretty glad when they annexed that area because the scope of that project is really significant. They're actually replacing the railroad bridge. It's around a $20 million project, and
oh my gosh,
it's really just the intersection. So that's to my knowledge going to start next year. Last update I heard. So about the time we're finishing this Old State project, Columbus will start that Lozelle Road project.
Did you know they were going to do the Bill?
I just noticed on our map, but I didn't know,
saw that.
I didn't know for sure.
Glad they're doing it, and they're
Yeah.
glad they're doing it.
I've been there,
So,
I know
yeah.
what you mean.
We are too.
Yeah.
Okay. Any other comments, questions?
No,
Take a vote.
Thank you.
Vote on motion 17-280. Mr. Benton?
Aye.
Mrs. Lewis?
Aye.
Thank you.
Thanks, Rob.
Resolution number 17-281, in the matter of accepting a grant from the Cliff and Ellen Wayne Memorial Fund of the Columbus Foundation and providing a supplemental appropriation for the Delaware County Dog Shelter.
So moved.
Second, discussion.
Morning, or actually, good afternoon. Brian Gallagher, yeah, so used to it over the years, it's always been good morning. Brian Gallagher, Director of Safety and Security. This is a grant we received through the Columbus Foundation that's for the veterinary care for dogs out at the shelter.
We've gotten this in the past.
We've gotten the large grant through the Columbus Foundation. This is a supplemental grant. They reduced the award this past year, so this actually kind of brings it up to where it was at.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Great.
Yeah, very much appreciated. Very nice to get that, so. Vote?
Vote on motion 17-281. Mrs. Lewis?
Aye.
Mr. Benton?
Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Brian.
Resolution number 17-282, in the matter of approving a services agreement with Donley Concrete Cutting and Drilling Company for core drilling and saw cutting in concrete UV channels.
So moved.
Second, discussion.
Good afternoon, Commissioners. Tiffany Mag with the Regional Sewer District. This work is required for us to complete our UV project out at the OECC treatment plant. What we did is we installed with our own maintenance crews the UV channels in the existing infrastructure, and in order to complete that project, we now have to cut the concrete to be able to install the flap gates upstream of the UV channels. So that requires specific equipment and expertise that we don't have in-house, so we would like you guys to approve this contract.
Okay.
Vote?
Vote on motion 17-282. Mr. Benton?
Aye.
Mrs. Lewis?
Aye.
Resolution number 17-283, in the matter of authorizing an amendment to the use of a procurement card for the Regional Sewer District.
So moved.
Second, discussion.
This is for our Assistant Operations Superintendent, who is also functioning right now as our interim maintenance manager. He currently still has his previous P-card approvals, which was when he previously acted as the package plant manager. So now that he serves as a dual Assistant Operations Superintendent as well as the interim maintenance manager, he does have some emergency situations where he needs to have a little bit higher spending limit on a daily basis. And this would be on the same level as the rest of the treatment plant managers.
Okay, vote.
Vote on motion 17-283. Mrs. Lewis?
Aye.
Mr. Benton?
Aye.
Thanks.
Thank you,
Thanks,
Tiffany.
Tiffany.
That brings us to administrative reports.
Commissioners, just since we were talking to Mr. Riley about the projects, last week Engineer Bauserman and I were talking about the overall program, and sometime in the near future he would like to do a work session to talk about some of the questions that you were asking. I think that would be good for all of us.
I bet you know the answers.
Not really. He's the man. Actually, there's the man with the answers right there.
Yeah. Well, he does have a lot of answers, too, yeah.
That's it? Okay. Commissioner Lewis?
Well, we have been invited by former Justice Stratton to be a test site for a new project, and this project would help eligible inmates receive Medicaid benefits upon release with appropriate transitions. And the project would especially target inmates with mental health and substance abuse conditions. And I ran this by our county sheriff and also the county prosecutor this morning, and they thought it was a good idea. And I think the best way to handle it is to have, and this would be the Chief Medical Officer and Vice President of Medical Affairs for Molina Healthcare of Ohio. And I'm not sure if Justice Stratton would be with him or not, but he would come and explain what the project is, and then we can indicate whether we want to go ahead with it. But it looks like an
interesting idea.
Yeah. Good project to be involved with. So if we could schedule some time, I think just actually during session would be the best way to do it. Just something, we'll follow through on that.
Okay.
And then our sad news about, oh boy, Joe DeGenova's passing yesterday afternoon. I mean, it's just, how do you begin with Joe? Such a soldier. I mean, just and carried his service for veterans through his community service, and I mean, it's just a great loss.
Right.
He had just resigned or was going to resign at the end of April.
Yeah, I guess he announced that he was going to
He
resign.
announced, you're right, yes. Yes.
So, yeah, terrible loss.
Yeah.
And Joe was a, great ambassador for the community and for the veterans. Vietnam
Yes.
veterans in particular is his era. So, yeah, it's big loss, that's for sure.
Oh, yes. The only other thing I wanted to mention was that we had a call, a conference call last Friday afternoon for mid-sized counties for NACO, and concerning the Stepping Up program, and it was really interesting. I'm not sure how many people were on the call. It was I'd never been on a conference call like this, but they mute everyone, and then when you want to speak, then you let them know by pressing a button. And so anyway, I have no idea how many. I'm going to ask how many other counties were represented, but our own Sheriff Martin was able to speak, and also Cassie Neff, who coordinates the Stepping Up program, actually both got some decent time to speak about what we were doing here in Delaware County. So, and Cassie remarked later, too, that it was really good because they got into the nitty-gritty. There was another sheriff on the line from Boone County, I believe. He did remark that it was the home of Clemson, the national champions, at which point I couldn't say anything because they couldn't hear me, so I texted Cassie, ouch, yeah.
Had to bring that up.
I know. So that was the only part I didn't like about the call. But these calls will be done on a regular basis, and so Cassie did say, because it deals with the nitty-gritty of how other counties are actually handling this program and some of their successes and some of their challenges, that it was really beneficial. So, and that's all I have.
Okay, great. Just a couple of things. We did have the State of the County presentation last Thursday, and I thought it went very well until we got into discussions of schools and zoning and so on, which really aren't the county's jurisdiction, but nevertheless
Roads.
Roads can be our jurisdiction.
Roads, but,
But again, I thought, and again, zoning and schools, we all certainly all care about. We just don't have much input on those.
Right.
So again, I want to thank everyone. Good attendance, 100 people probably. Again, fellow commissioners did a great job. I thought it was very well received. We did have a CCAO legislator, meeting this morning, and I thought that went well. Very good turnout. We probably had 25 people there, county, and joint meeting with Knox County and their commissioners and a couple of their folks. So it went very well. We managed to make our priorities known to Chris Jordan and Senator Chris Jordan and Representative Andy Brenner, who were there. And I think they understand that the Medicaid sales tax is a very important issue, the voting equipment, and public defender funding, and the opiate epidemic. I think those were the top four, and so we spent a lot of time talking about those, so that was a good meeting. We've got Corsa renewal discussion on Wednesday. Thursday's meeting is canceled, so we're not having a commissioner's session Thursday. Veterans luncheon on Wednesday, the quarterly or semi-annual meeting over in Sunbury. And I think that's pretty much it. So that's it for me. So I think we have an executive session.
We do have a reason for executive session. Resolution number 17-284, in the matter of adjourning into executive session for consideration of purchase of property for public purpose.
So moved.
Second, discussion. Vote.
Vote on motion 17-284. Mrs. Lewis?
Aye.
Mr. Benton?
Aye. All right, we are in executive session.